fans are in complete shock. Wang and Shen Yue's secret marriage has finally been revealed. And it all started with a single hug. Not a scripted moment from a drama, not a scene crafted for the cameras, but a hug that came straight from the heart, captured when no one thought the world was watching. For years, fans of Wang and Shen Yue have imagined what it might be like if the two stars of Meteor Garden ended up together in real life. Their chemistry on screen was undeniable, their connection impossible to fake. Viewers around the globe fell in love with their story as Dao Mingxi and Shan Kai, but quietly, many wondered, what if that story was more than just fiction? What if the sparks between Dylan and Shen Yue had crossed over into reality? And now, it seems, the answer has arrived. The revelation came not from a press conference, not from an official announcement, but from a leaked piece of footage that has left millions speechless. At first, the video seemed ordinary. A gathering, a quiet courtyard, dim lights twinkling in the background, and soft laughter filling the air. But then the camera shifted, and there they were, Wang and Shen Yue, standing close, dressed not as celebrities, but as a bride and groom. Shen Yue was in a soft ivory gown, simple but breathtaking, with lace tracing the sleeves and a flowing skirt that brushed the floor. She held a bouquet of delicate white roses. Her hair was styled loosely, a few curls falling around her face, her smile both nervous and radiant. Dylan stood across from her in a perfectly tailored suit, his posture straight but his expression almost boyish, as if he could hardly believe the moment was real. The clip was short, no more than a minute, but in that minute, the world changed for their fans. It showed them exchanging words that were quiet, almost whispers, meant only for each other. The officiant smiled, the guests clapped softly, and then, before the vows were even finished, Dylan reached out, pulled Shen Yue close, and wrapped his arms around her. It wasn't just any hug. It was the kind of embrace that spoke louder than words, the kind of hug that says, "You are my forever. You are my home." He buried his face into her shoulder, and she closed her eyes, holding him just as tightly. That hug told a story that no press release ever could. It was raw. It was real. It was love. When the clip ended, fans were left breathless. The internet erupted in chaos within minutes. Hashtags like #DylanWang and #ShenYueBride shot to the top of trending lists across Weibo, Twitter, and TikTok. Fans replayed the video again and again, zooming in, analyzing every detail. The arch decorated with flowers behind them, the candles lining the courtyard, the small group of witnesses who clapped quietly when Dylan pulled her into his arms. Some fans cried as they wrote their reactions online. One wrote, "This hug is more than a hug. It's a promise." They didn't even wait for the words to finish. That's how much they love each other. Another said, "We always imagined their wedding in fanfics, but reality is even more beautiful." But as the joy spread, so did the questions. How did this happen? When did it happen? And how in the world did they manage to keep it hidden for so long? Speculation began immediately. Some fans believe the wedding took place weeks ago at a private estate outside of Hangzhou. Others think it may have been even earlier, pointing to old photos and interviews where both Dylan and Shen Yue wore simple silver bands on their fingers. At the time, fans brushed it off as fashion accessories. But now, with this footage, those rings suddenly look like wedding bands. The secrecy shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone who has followed their careers closely. Both Dylan and Shen Yue are known for valuing their privacy. They rarely speak about their personal lives in interviews, and when asked about relationships, they tend to laugh off the questions or give vague, careful answers. While other celebrities may thrive on sharing their romances with the public, these two have always chosen silence. Perhaps that silence was their shield. Perhaps it was the only way to protect something so fragile and so precious. Industry insiders have begun to speak quietly about what they knew. One anonymous source claimed, "They've been together for years. It was never for the cameras. Whenever they had free time, they spent it together. Their families are close, and everyone around them knew they were serious." Another insider hinted that the wedding was planned months in advance, with only their closest relatives and a handful of trusted friends invited. If that's true, then the hug captured in the leaked footage was not just a romantic moment, it was the sealing of a promise they had been waiting years to make. The hug itself has become a symbol. Fans are sharing still images of it, painting fan art, even writing poetry about it. Some describe it as the moment their fictional fairy tale became reality. For so long, the world watched Dylan and Shen Yue as characters in love, scripted by someone else's hand. But this hug, this embrace, was theirs. It was unscripted, unfiltered, and completely genuine. And yet, the mystery deepens. Who leaked the video? Some believe it was a guest at the wedding who couldn't resist capturing the moment on their phone. Others suggest it may have come from a professional recording, perhaps shared accidentally, or maybe even intentionally, as a quiet way of letting the world know the truth. So far, neither Dylan nor Shen Yue has commented. Their agencies remain silent as well, refusing to confirm or deny. But that silence has only fueled the frenzy, with fans convinced that the lack of denial is, in itself, a form of confirmation. The internet has responded with overwhelming support. Messages of congratulations pour in from China, the Philippines, Indonesia, and far beyond. Some fans are organizing online events, changing their profile pictures to images of Dylan and Shen Yue together, or posting artwork of the hug that shook the internet. One particularly moving tribute came from a fan in the Philippines who painted a digital scene of Dylan and Shen Yue in that embrace, writing, "We fell in love with their story on screen, but now they've given us the most beautiful ending of all their own." Meanwhile, clues continue to surface. A florist from Hangzhou posted weeks ago about preparing arrangements for a private wedding, and the flowers in her photo match those seen in the leaked video. A pianist also hinted about playing at an intimate ceremony not long ago. Both posts have since been deleted, but not before fans took screenshots. It's becoming clear that this was not a rushed decision. This was carefully planned, carefully protected. And in many ways, that makes the story even more powerful. Because this isn't just about a celebrity couple. It's about two people who chose love in a world that constantly tries to take privacy away from them. It's about finding something real and holding on to it tightly, even if that means keeping it a secret from millions of adoring fans. The hug, the one fans are now calling the hug of forever, represents more than just affection. It represents trust, commitment, and a love strong enough to stay hidden until the right moment. Some fans say they don't even need official confirmation anymore. The hug says it all. One wrote, "Words can lie. Press statements can be written by managers. But hugs don't lie. That hug was real,